In a slight change of pace from their previous offering, Asus are back with the new ROG Phone 8 and 8 Pro to win over the hearts and minds of those who've been slightly hesitant to take the plunge on a gaming phone. Now we have the 8 Pro here with us today, so let's take a look and see why the gaming DNA might only be skin deep, and there's actually much more to love about this phone. Kicking things off, the new model spec sheet has had an update. The SoC, or System on Chip, has been updated to the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 8-core, which comes packaged with the updated Adreno 750 GPU. RAM stays the same, though this isn't really an issue, as 16GB of LPDDR5X in a phone is still very impressive and more than capable of keeping everything running smoothly. This is where we start to see some differences between the 8 and the 8 Pro, as the non-Pro does get slightly less RAM at 12GB. And while storage is still a more than reasonable 256GB as opposed to the 512GB standard on the Pro. Now, although the version that we've been sent is the ROG Phone 8 Pro Edition, this particular one comes with an increase in storage and RAM to 1TB and 24GB respectively. Overall performance shouldn't be too different from the standard Pro though, just worth mentioning. Now, in the box itself, you get a clear case with a useful cutout on the back to leave room for the optional Aeroactive Cooler X, a USB-C to C cable, a SIM removal tool, and a huge 65-watt power adapter. The addition of this power adapter is really useful, as not only is it capable of full speed charging of the phone's massive 5,500 mAh battery, it's also compatible with Asus laptops and even the awesome ROG Ally, so you need to only take one charger with you if you're on the go. Something very different though from the previous ROG 7 Ultimate is the overall design here, as you can see. It's sleeker, more elegant and lighter. Now, the new Anime Vision panel on the back of the phone here that you can see is a welcome change from the previous phone. It's invisible when the phone is off, but it can show you things like the time or battery charge level when the phone is face down. It's a really nice design improvement, we feel, from the 7 Ultimate's dedicated screen. It's 21 grams lighter and they've made it a millimetre thinner too, so it feels really sleek and more like a regular phone with its new smaller footprint. They've even packed in wireless charging and the bezels are a lot slimmer. So the addition of stronger Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 means wear and tear shouldn't scuff up the display. Now, speaking of the display, that's something else that's improved. It's still a Samsung AMOLED panel, but with a much brighter screen thanks to its new 2500 nit peak brightness, making it a more enjoyable and productive experience if you're going to be using your phone outside. And for the gamers, that massive 165Hz refresh rate from the previous phone stays, so games and apps feel silky smooth. So now let's talk about the camera, which has had a little makeover and consists of 3 lenses, one main camera with a 50 megapixel IMX890 image sensor, one ultra-wide 13 megapixel camera, and one telephoto camera with a 32 megapixel quad pixel sensor. And they've even added in a 6-axis gimbal stabiliser, which is handy if you like to use your camera to shoot video. Following on with more everyday improvements, the phone is now IP68 water and dust resistant, which is pretty impressive considering things like the headphone jacks remain and the dual USB-C ports. Now, as this is a ROG product, let's focus on the G part of that, gamers. A lot of the changes made to things like the design and dimensions may seem like they're trying to steer away from gaming. That is far from the truth. You're reminded of that the second you take it out of this box and boot it up for the first time. Once you get through the standard Android setup, you're dropped right into a pretty cool ROG Game level. And as we love with the ROG 7 phones, the already very stylish and premium feel box that it comes in actually doubles up as part of the mini game, where it walks you through the cool features of the phone and gets you using the air triggers and the Anime Vision panel here on the back and show you what the phone is truly capable of. I absolutely love that about the ROG phones. It's a really unique and clever feature. Now, factoring in all the upgrades over the previous version and the additions of things like wireless charging and more power, it's actually surprising to see that the price for all of that performance actually comes in less than the previous ROG Phone 7 Ultimate, which was £1,200. The ROG Phone 8 Pro is a whole £100 less than that at around £1,100, and the standard 8 is less than £1,000. If this sounds like the phone upgrade that you've been after, then click the link in the description to check out the ROG Phone 8 and the 8 Pro and get hold of your own at scan.co.uk.